So with the way things are, we continue to talk about money and the challenges, and the cost of living is hurting many Americans right now. According to a recent credit report, a record number of millennials and Gen Z are struggling with car payments and defaulting on car loans. But we never just tell you the problem, we have solutions. Of course, we bring in our finance expert and professor, Dan Ricardo. Good morning, sir.
What's up, Bill? How you feeling?
I'm doing pretty well. Thank you very much. I hope you are also. All right, Dan, I feel like we've talked about cars a lot, and the struggles that people are dealing with. Why all of a sudden car loan defaults?
Yeah, well, it's the third biggest expense, housing, college, and usually for most families, cars come next, and up 50%, that's the default rate, up 50% over the last year for young adults. That's a trouble sign, Bill. It's easy to understand why. The average new car, over 46 grand. I remember that was a house, for crying out loud. The average monthly payment, $698, and a lot of the younger adults, as you know, are underemployed. They have jobs, but they're not making as much money as perhaps they should be given their education.
Dan, the average car payment now is $700? Yeah.
You got that right. And you can thank these pricey SUVs and pickup trucks for that big number, Bill. Lots changed.
Wow. All right, now the problem is if you start defaulting, then it has kind of this whole ripple effect. Because you default, it messes up your credit score, then you pay more, right? So it does hurt your credit score.
Exactly. So it creates this vicious cycle instead of a virtuous circle. So here's a few ideas. Number one, you and I have talked about this a lot since the pandemic started. Don't buy a new car. If you can avoid a new car, try to avoid it because the prices right now are insane. Number two, you can actually refinance a car loan, Bill. Not many folks know that, but if you've got a higher interest rate, you can actually refinance that into a lower rate if you have decent credit. And finally, Bill, for folks who are really struggling, I always say this one, pick up the phone, call your lender, let them know the truth. You're struggling and you need help. They'll work with you.
You always say that, and I always wonder if people will actually negotiate, but I'm trusting you, and they say that they will. All right, so Dan, summer is right here, and vacations are more expensive than ever. So how do we balance that? We want that vacation, but they're high.
Yeah, crazy high. Airfares right now are off the charts. Couple things, be flexible. If your dates are flexible, you'll save some money. Check out an off-season location. Avoid the popular destinations this summer. They're going to be crowded. They're going to be expensive. Try something a little bit different. A package deal, Bill. A cruise, right? Maybe a trip to Europe. Grab that passport, Bill. Let's go, because Europe cruises are cheaper than the rest of these travel things. So there are still deals out there, but you got to look for them.
Any apps or things like that we should be trying out?
You know the apps I like. Skyscanner for airfares, that's a pretty good one, Skyscanner. I also like Turo for rental cars. It's a peer-to-peer lending app. So there's plenty of out there that can save us some money. Cash in your credit card rewards. Now's the time. Put it towards your summer vacation. Don't forget to join the loyalty programs. That'll save you some money too, Bill.
That was an interesting one that I wanted to talk about. Because a lot of times when you fly, they offer you up these reward points. And most of the time, people just kind of roll their eyes. Right now is a good time to look at those points or cashing in some of the ones you have?
Yeah, I just cashed in my points for a trip that we're doing in September. So now is a good time with airfares so high. Listen, Bill, let's hope that we get through this summer, we survive these high fares, these high hotel rates, and things get back to somewhat normal in the fall.
I'm going on vacation soon, Dan. That's been booked for a minute, so I actually got a deal. So those package deal things, I was listening to your advice months ago. Thank you as always, my friend.
Thank you, brother. See you next week.